Welcome everybody to Forza Horizon 5, and today we're taking a look at the 2020 Lotus Evija. Now, the production has supposedly began in mid-2021, although dates have been shifting around and I'm not sure if it's even being made at the moment, but that's not really the point. The point is that only 130 units are being planned to be built, and yeah, this is the first all-electric vehicle from Lotus. And yeah, it's got such features as magnesium wheels, 20 inches at the front and 21 inches at the rear, Pirelli Trofeo R tyres and carbon ceramic disc brakes. It's also got a claimed mile range of 215, which is fairly decent for a car of this type. And yeah, it gets its power from a 70 kilowatt an hour battery pack, which feeds 4 electric motors which are on each wheel. Each electric motor is apparently able to pull out around 493 horsepower. So that means in total this has 1,973 horsepower and 1,253 pounds-feet of torque. Now that isn't quite as torquey as say the Rimac Concept 2, but it is more in the way of power. And more crucially, this weighs less as well at 3,704 pounds, so that's about 500 pounds less than the Rimac. So yeah, this is the lightest EV hypercar going at the moment, and yeah, it's also the most powerful car that we've ever had on a Forza game. And it's reportedly the second most powerful car that is planned for production, with the Aspark Owl being the only one that is actually more powerful than this, and even then not all that much extra. So yeah, I really do like the design of this car. No, it doesn't look like other Lotus vehicles out there, but then again, it's not supposed to be. This is top of the line, uber rare, uber expensive, and yeah, based on an all new platform, and yeah, basically the car of the future as far as Lotus are concerned. So yeah, I love all the aerodynamic styling tweaks going on it. So you've got air that will go from the side of the door over the rear wheel and out the back on both sides, no doubt bringing the car down in terms of downforce. And it's also got a diffuser in the rear and a spoiler that comes up at a certain rate of speed for even more downforce. And then you've got air that goes through the front there under the headlights and out behind the front wheels. And you've got really rather mad doors. The first time I think any Lotus has had those kind of doors before. And yeah, a really rather Spartan interior in typical Lotus fashion, to be honest. So yeah, you've got really rather thin carbon fibre seats, carbon fibre everywhere on this car by the way, which is one reason why it's so light. But yeah, they've also gone for analog buttons as well, instead of, you know, a massive screen in the middle like so many cars, which again is all about making it as light as possible. But yeah, still got features like electric windows, as you can see. It's got an automatic 1-speed gearbox, still got an LCD screen and for the all of the gizmos and speedometer and revs and everything like that. Not a fan of the steering wheel. I don't imagine that's going to be particularly handy in terms of, you know, parking or, you know, doing any 3-point turns, but yeah, it at least makes it look a little bit more futuristic. And yeah, you've got all your driving modes on the front there. As you can see, you've got Eco, City, Tour, Sport and Track, and yeah, other various buttons for your in-car entertainment. And yeah, it's all very nicely laid out and all very nicely done, which is no surprise when you consider this costs about $2.2 million. So yeah, Lotus are really going for the upmarket approach. But yeah, to see what this car's really like, we're going to have to go out onto the track. So let's get out there and see what it can do. So before we go to the track, we're going to take it down the drag strip and see how quick this thing actually is. Now, in terms of actual acceleration to 60 or to 100, it's not the best. It's certainly not massively impressive. It's 0 to 60 in 2.7 seconds and 0 to 100 in 4.519 seconds. So I don't think that's quite class leading, but where this really you know, trumps a lot of other electric fast cars is its top speed of 221 miles an hour. I only think the Rimac or the Ryza Tachyon are only faster than that. But even so, it's more about the actual way it goes rather than in terms of raw numbers, as you'll see. So yeah, let's get going. So yeah, not the fastest in terms of 60 to 100, but as soon as it hits 7,000 RPM, it's like it gains a second wind and it just flies off, and it's just ridiculous. And it gets to its top speed in no time at all. And yeah, it's utterly ridiculous in that regard. So yeah, I really do like the way that the power is put out. Like I said, it's fairly ordinary before 7,000 RPM, but once it hits 7,000 RPM, it's almost like a VTEC engine. It just something gains an extra lease of life, and it just shunts you in the back and just shoots you down whatever straight you're going down in no time at all. So yeah, that is ridiculous, and I do like the way the lights are lit up as well. You got the Lotus name on the back there that's lit up in lights. The aerodynamic elements are lit up as well with the brake lights and stuff. They got a brake light in the centre as well, and one in the top as well, because no doubt you want to stop people crashing into you. But overall, a really nice looking car. But let's get onto the track and see what it's like there, because it's very easy for electric cars to be ludicrously quick in terms of straight line speed and acceleration, but sometimes when it comes to handling they can be a little bit too weighty and a little bit too cumbersome. But like I said, this is the lightest Hypercar EV going out there at the moment. Like I said, 3,704 pounds, which is extremely light. But will that show on the track? We'll have to see. But yeah, it is ridiculous once it gets past 7,000 RPM. It's just like, whoa! It's like hitting a hyperdrive button or something. It's just like, whoa, off you go. But yeah, in terms of handling, it is still really, really nicely done. It's typical Lotus in the fact that it feels as light as it is. Yes, there is some understeer because you've got, you know, what, 493 times 2 going up at the front there, so you know you're dealing with nearly 1,000 horsepower going for those front wheels, which is obviously a lot to ask of any car. But yeah, still got really good brakes as well, thanks to the lightweightedness of the car and those carbon ceramic brakes. And it's just generally really rather fun to drive. I will never get sick of just flooring it and just zooming up to 221 miles an hour in literally no time at all. I've not counted it, but I imagine it's about 15 seconds or so to 220. And yeah, once you get used to how it drives, you will easily, you know, cure it of any understeer in no time at all. You just have to be, you know, a little bit gentle with it at times as well. But most of the time there is no understeer, and yeah, all the other times you're just captivated by how ludicrously quick it is. To get up to nearly 200 mile an hour on this circuit, I very much doubt any other vehicle is going to be able to do that. So yeah, mightily impressed by this. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure about the year, so I'm only putting the year on the video title from what Forza has given us. So 2020, I doubt that is what the actual model year is going to be like at times. I've heard 2021, I've heard 2022. You know, with the pandemic and everything, it's no doubt slowed down some car production in certain areas, so yeah, for whatever reason, the car year or model year isn't set in stone. But regardless, beautiful car, awesome acceleration and performance in general, and yeah, just looks very well put together. And for being Lotus vehicle's first electric vehicle, you have to say they've pulled it out of the bag in a big way. So yeah, to put nearly 2,000 horsepower in an all-electric vehicle is mightily impressive. And yeah, I look forward to seeing more electric vehicle hypercars out there, because yeah, if they're half as good as this, then yeah, we're in for a great treat. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.